Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for World Trigger Chapter 81. Alright, and the beginning of this chapter is kind of simple and straightforward. You know, Osama gets taken care of, so he's going to survive, so we got that confirmation. We see Kirie Konami taking out some Tryon soldiers. We see Ken Satori coming in. He takes him out. Arashiyama's squad comes in, well, except for I, of course. They take some people out. And lastly, we get the introduction of Kako's squad. Alright, Nozomi Kako and Futaba Kuroe. Alright, so that was interesting. They were busy, I guess, this entire time. Awful time to be busy, but I guess they had some other mission or something. But they're here now, and they said they'd make up for lost time and everything by taking out the other Tryon soldiers and finishing them off. So yeah, I'm assuming they'll be relevant later on. As like I'm assuming they'll have more of a role in the next arc, and that awkward period leading up to the next arc. Yeah, because they're pretty freaking good. They're rank A, so I mean, and rank 6 too. So that they're pretty freaking good. So they're going to be important assets in terms of like battle strength. So they will definitely have a prominent role in the next arc, I'm assuming. Maybe not like Cosmo Squad level, but they're I'm assuming they're going to be doing something important. So yeah. But after that, we got Jean talking with Hyuse. Okay, and all right, so this was the start of like me just theorizing. All right, because Jean says that he can tell that something's going on. All right, with Hyuse and the other After Creator neighbors. All right, and right after that, we got Hyrain saying that if they brought Hyuse back with them without having Chica, then Hyuse would have become their enemy. All right, and I'm just thinking, why? Like what is it about Chica where if she comes back now all of a sudden it's safe to have Hyuse, but if she doesn't come back with him, then he becomes the enemy. And I'm assuming that Hyuse understands the situation too, because when Jean was talking to him and talking about how like I know, I understand, or talking to him about how he was assuming there was something going on. Hyuse didn't sit there like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, what do you what do you mean you're glad I stayed on this side? Wait, you mean they left me? Like, what? Like he wasn't confused at all. He understood, and he was just like sitting there thinking, this man, like, how does he not? Like, I'm assuming that he understands the situation. But like I mean, but still, like, why? Like, why would he become their enemy though? Like, it's clear that he wanted to fight for Hyrain and fight with them. So what? Like, it has to be something involving Chica, alright? Because Chica was supposed to become their new god, alright? That's what Hyrain said. He told Visa and Hyuse to go get their new god, alright? So, does that mean that the person who's currently in power in After Creator does not like Hyuse at all, or wants to do something to Hyuse, or get rid of him or something? And that bringing Chica in and having her replace the current leader would allow Hyuse to be safe or something like that. Like, and if they don't bring Chica back, then that person's gonna like order Hyuse to be killed or something like that. And Hyrain and them aren't gonna betray that person, but Hyuse would in order to survive, and he'd like go on the run and stuff, and they'd have to hunt him down. Like is that what they mean by become their enemy? Because it doesn't look like Hyuse wants to become their enemy at all. So it has to be something involving the person who's currently in power in After Creator, alright? And Hyrain added in towards the end of the chapter that their objectives had actually been met when it came to Anadora and Hyuse. So I guess that would mean that their objective was keeping Hyuse safe from the person who would make him become their enemy. Right? I'm assuming that's what it is. And as far as Anadora goes, I would assume that Anadora was actually in that person's faction, because he did disagree with the way Hyrain did things quite a bit. And when he ended up going off on his own, Hyrain was just sitting there talking about how, you know, hey, fine, let him go. Now we can get him recalled. So I guess that means replace him, like let him get killed off, say he was killed in action, and then get someone else on the team who isn't a part of that person's faction. Of course, all this is just theory, assuming that there actually is some person in power who wants to take out Hyuse. But then that leads to the question, if that is actually the case, then what would Hyuse have done to earn that person's hatred? Did he do anything at all? Is it just the kind of person he is? Like, want some Sasuke crap? Like, the fact that he's in Uchiha automatically makes him worthy of this kind of hatred, and that automatically makes him a threat? Like, is it that kind of thing? Or did he actually go out and do something that makes him a threat to the person currently in power? I don't know. Of course, all of these theories just hinge around, the same fact that there's someone in power who wants to go after Hyuse. But that's what I've got right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the chapter. We're in that awkward time after an arc ends and before a new arc begins, where you're just kind of like transitioning. And I thought that with the transition chapter like this, it would be like mediocre, but I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. With the introduction of Kako Squad, the stuff with Hyuse and Hyrain and trying to figure out what's going on there. So I'll actually say this was a good chapter because it actually provided hints. It provided enough for you to be able to try and question what is actually going on here. Like, it made you think, like, there's more to this than meets the eye. Like, it's developing this whole situation revolving around Hyuse. So I'll actually say this was a good chapter, and I'll give it an 8 out of 10. And that's that, you guys. I always say rate, comment, subscribe, but I haven't checked my comments in like 2 months, which is awful. But I'm like, this is the busiest semester I've ever had in school, and I'm getting my videos out late and stuff, and I'm just like all over the place, and I'm overwhelmed with schoolwork, and it's just crazy. So one of these days, I'm going to catch up to my comments. One of these days, it's going to happen. Like exams every week, it's awful. I don't even know when I'm going to find the time to do it. Even my weekends I spend doing work, it's awful. Oh, okay. Sooner or later, I'm going to catch up to my comments. But until then, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.